Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And this is going to be just a quick trade recap video going over Boeing and the S&P 500 specifically, some of the trades that we took, and basically going back and reviewing the past 3 days on Boeing and how we've been trading it and absolutely killing it using supply and demand. Now, I do these trade recaps on a daily basis on my Instagram. If you aren't following that, the link will be in the description below, worth the follow. But let's get right into the Discord, and I want to show you what I was exactly watching on Boeing, and I'm also going to break down the S&P today too. Okay, so this is on Boeing now, and this was in the pre-market plan, I think July 26th. I said Boeing was getting tighter and tighter, looking to break out of this wedge soon. We break below. Keep in mind, we have no clean demand until the 154.04, where we could target for our shorts. So the way you could trade around the supply and demand strategy is to look for higher time frame supply or demand zones, and then you could take it short if we're coming into demand at a speculation that the market is going to trade. Higher time frame zones act like magnets to price because they balanced in a higher time frame, whereas these institutional traders have basically that higher time frame to work their order, to build it up, and to leverage their position. So higher time frames act like magnets. Then what you look for is either a chart pattern, a candlestick pattern, maybe some call sweep activity coming through, anything that's really signifying a bearish or bullish outlook on the stock to really confirm that the trend is going to continue and continue down into this demand zone, obviously at the 154 mark. Now, like I said, this has been on watch every day for the past, I want to say 3, 4, 5 days. Okay, so this is a Boeing Daily chart, and I'm going to explain really fast how we shorted it the past 3 or 2 days and how we flipped our bias and actually took it long today. So really fast, just backtracking a little bit, we had a demand zone back from March where my cursor's at, bounced at it in May, then rallied from the 116 area all the way up to the 230 mark. Very strong impulsive move. Now in this move, you're gonna have to find other supply or other demand zones to play off of to get long at pullbacks, because obviously we don't buy on the way up, we trade a reversal. Now for the past month, Boeing has been very tight. Action has been getting very, consolidating, bouncing in this wedge, and no real follow through with nothing until we broke below the wedge. And then on 7/28, we created a basing candle. And then the following day, during earnings, the stock dropped and created a valid daily supply zone. Now I'm going to go to an intraday chart, 5-minute to be specific, and show you exactly how we traded around it. So this day right here, 7/28, is when the daily supply zone formed. 7/29, where my cursor's at, is the day earnings came out and Boeing dropped. On the day Boeing dropped with earnings, we took it short at a speculation that the previous day was daily supply, and we took it short off of intraday 5-minute supply forming, and we actually took it short under the 169 mark, which was right here, and we rode this all the way down. Now, it depends if you're swing trading. I did not swing trade Boeing. There was many opportunities on a daily basis to take day trades off of it because you could see supply or demand zones that form on an intraday basis. So that was that trade on 7/29. The 30th, we were looking to short it below the low of the prior day, but the action that day was just sideways. There was no action. It was a premium eater, especially that it was on a Thursday. So there was no trades on the 30th. You can't trade this. You have to realize that the market's balanced. The action was tight. We chopped in a $1, $2 range, and there's actually no opportunities to trade that. You have to realize that as a trader and say, hey, look, I'm not even going to watch this stock today. I'm not going to trade it. Not going to force myself because there's going to be no follow through. The following day is what made it interesting. So I'm going to go back to the daily chart and show you how we back tested this wedge. We had this wedge on the daily chart, and what I liked about it was A, we had supply forming, B, we back tested the wedge, and we sold off the day of earnings. Now we have to have the short mentality aspect to it. Once supply forms in uptrends, you have to look, or on downtrends, you look to take profit in demand. Boeing then proceeded to drop, on the 30th, 31st, and then today we hit this demand zone. So there were multiple opportunities. Once you understand the bias is to the downside, you have to realize we are bearish on the stock, and you look for intraday supply zones to play off of. And this on 7/31 was another trade that we took in the chat room where we saw supply forming up here, and we took it short to the downside. Again, did not hit our target on Friday, but today Boeing opened and dropped and hit daily demand pretty much perfectly. Once we hit daily demand, this is our signal to get long, and then look at the reaction. So if you were swing trading this from a higher time frame perspective, you look to take profits in demand, you would have rode that move all the way down. If you are day trading this, it gave us a good opportunity today to get long at this daily demand zone with very minimal risk. Once you see these lower wicks being printed, you could either get long anywhere in this area, or if you miss this move up, you get long on the retest. Look at this. We retested the demand perfectly, and we went from 154 all the way up to the 163.5 mark. So this was a crazy trade today off of daily demand. Very simple. We were targeting this for the short side, and we flipped biases today, and we actually took this long in the chat room. Again, just on the 31st, same thing. Same plan. We were looking to short into a move into daily demand. We had nothing stopping us below to fill that daily buy imbalance. And then today we hit that daily buy imbalance and you take it long. So now I want to briefly go over the S&P 500 today. And there were many opportunities to trade this today, even though we were balanced and basically flat, trading very choppy. We moved in I think 18 or 19 point range today. A month or 2 months ago, we were getting 18, 19 point ranges in a 5-minute time period. So when the market's balanced and choppy like this, it's healthy because we're obviously getting ready for a big move soon, but you have to trade differently. And I had this in the webinar yesterday. So Sunday night, which was yesterday, we had a webinar and I went over my outlook of what the market is going to be like and how to trade around it to the current market conditions. In this type of market, you have to take your profits fast when you have them, and you could always look to re-enter because there's going to be many different setups. So going over the pre-market plan today, we had demand down here at the 3265 mark, which was 4-hour, and then we had a 3-hour supply that we've been watching for a while now, which was created back, I think, in February or March at the 3289 mark. Opening up in between it, we don't take any trades until an imbalance triggers, and then we can wait to see what price does and how it reacts to that imbalance. So on a 15-minute chart, you're not going to really see it as clear, but if you go to a 5-minute, this 3-hour supply zone gave us a nice opportunity to short it today with very low risk. Again, the market was trading in a very tight range, so you have to take your profits fast. Good part about this is you could take multiple trades. You could lose on multiple trades because your risk is very small if the market is trading in a tight range. So I know a lot of people took this short today at the 3290 point right here with a 2-point risk. So short at 3290 and risking 2 points to make and we had a target of demand down here. So 2-point risk to about a 10-point target. So that's not a bad trade. That's your first opportunity. Second opportunity, and you have to keep in mind, intraday perspective, there are supply and demands that form, and you have to take trades off of them, and you could scalp them. This right here was a relief bounce into supply, which was created here. This was another trade that I know somebody took short today and rode it right all the way into demand. Now, the second time we retest this supply zone, we break the high of the day. I also made a recap, my last trade recap on my channel about high of day breaks, and if they fail, most likely we're going to have a pullback. If there's no attracted buyers above high of day, what's going to happen is the market's going to revert right back to the mean, and it's going to revert back to a balanced, choppy period where the market is going to consider it basically fair value. So after this trade, there was really nothing going on. The market from after it broke high a day moved in a 8-point range for the rest of the day. Very hard to trade that, and a lot of the opportunities happened today in the morning, and the afternoon volume was non-existent. We were getting 5-minute time periods where there was under 5,000 lots traded, which is very low. Another way you could trade this too is this pullback right here. You could get long in this demand zone. Another way to trade it is, get long at this demand right here. This is a 5-minute chart, and I have a 5-minute scalping strategy. This is the chart that we look at. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend go looking at it. It's a very effective scalping strategy with a 5-minute bullish run. So there's opportunities daily. You have to stay focused. You have to realize these opportunities, and then you have to execute. And only way you're going to execute is if you have proper risk defined. If you have defined risk and you lose on the trade, you have to look at that as a winning trade. So I hope this trade recap helped. I know I went along with Boeing for a while. but I just wanted to break it down as best as I can and break down this S&P trade as well. So if you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow my Instagram.